Have you ever been told you hold grudges too long? Do people around you seem to move on from hurt quickly while you're still processing what happened? Maybe someone betrayed your trust, and even though they apologized, you just can't let it go. You replay the situation in your mind, remembering every detail, every word, every feeling, and honestly, you don't feel ready to forgive. Not yet. Maybe not ever. If yes, then this video is for you. Let's understand the psychology behind it. People who never forgive easily are often misunderstood. They're labeled as stubborn, bitter, or unforgiving. But that's not the full picture. These are individuals who take relationships seriously, who value trust deeply, and who don't just hand out second chances like candy. They're not holding grudges out of spite, they're protecting something precious: their peace, their boundaries, and their sense of self-worth. Understanding why you or someone you know struggles with forgiveness isn't about fixing a flaw. It's about recognizing a pattern rooted in deep psychology, past experiences, and emotional wiring. This behavior is common, and in many ways, it's actually a form of self-preservation and strength. Let's dive into what's really going on beneath the surface. First, let's talk about trust as a foundation. For people who don't forgive easily, trust isn't just important, it's everything. When you give someone your trust, you're handing them a piece of your inner world. You're saying, "I believe you won't hurt me." So when that trust is broken, it's not just a small mistake to you, it feels like a fundamental violation. Imagine building a beautiful house brick by brick, and someone comes and knocks down a wall. Even if they say sorry and offer to rebuild it, the structure isn't the same anymore. You see the cracks. You remember the damage. This is why forgiveness doesn't come easy. It's not about being petty. It's about the weight you place on loyalty and integrity. You're wired to protect what matters most, and once that's compromised, your brain goes into defense mode. Now, here's the interesting part. Memory plays a huge role. People who struggle with forgiveness often have incredibly vivid emotional memories. You don't just remember what happened, you remember how it felt. The anger, the disappointment, the shock. It all stays with you like a movie playing on repeat. Psychologically, this happens because your brain is trying to protect you from future harm. It's saying, remember this pain so you don't experience it again. Think about touching a hot stove. You don't forget that burn, right? Your brain uses pain as a teacher. The same thing happens with emotional wounds. Your mind holds on to the hurt as a warning system. So when someone asks you to forgive and forget, your brain is literally wired to do the opposite. Remember and stay alert. But here's where it gets deeper. Many people who don't forgive easily have high standards for themselves and others. You expect people to act with integrity, honesty, and respect because that's how you operate. When someone falls short, it's not just disappointing, it feels like a betrayal of values. Let's say a friend promised to keep your secret but shared it with others. To some people, that's a small slip-up, but to you, it's a broken promise, a lack of respect, a failure of character. You hold people accountable because you hold yourself accountable. This isn't about being judgmental, it's about having a strong internal compass. You believe actions have consequences, and forgiveness, in your mind, shouldn't erase accountability. There's also something incredibly important to understand. Forgiveness feels like vulnerability, and vulnerability can feel dangerous, especially if you've been hurt before. When you forgive someone, you're opening the door again. You're giving them access to your life, your emotions, your trust. For someone who's been burned, that feels terrifying. It's like saying, okay, you hurt me once, but I'm going to risk it happening again. Your hesitation isn't coldness, it's self-protection. You've learned that not everyone deserves a second chance, and that's a hard-earned lesson. Imagine lending money to someone who never paid you back. Would you lend again just because they apologized? Probably not. You'd wait for changed behavior, for proof, for time. That's exactly how you approach forgiveness. Cautiously, wisely, protectively. And let's talk about emotional depth. People who don't forgive easily often feel things more intensely. You're not emotionally shallow, you're emotionally rich. When you care deeply. When you're hurt, you hurt deeply. This intensity makes forgiveness complicated because the wound goes deeper than surface level. A casual friend might move on quickly from a broken plan, but for you, it might feel like disrespect or neglect. You invest emotionally, so the return on that investment matters. When someone wrongs you, it's not just about the act, it's about what it represents. It's about feeling valued, respected, and seen. And when those needs aren't met, forgiveness doesn't come naturally because the hurt is profound. Here's the truth that often gets overlooked. Your inability to forgive easily is also a reflection of your self-respect. You're not a doormat. You don't let people walk all over you and then smile and say, "It's okay." You understand that some behaviors aren't okay, and you refuse to normalize them. This is powerful. It means you have boundaries. It means you know your worth. Too many people forgive too quickly, not out of kindness, but out of fear. Fear of conflict, fear of being alone, fear of being seen as difficult. But you'd rather stand firm in your truth than compromise your peace for false harmony. That takes courage. Now let's flip this positively, because everything we've talked about is actually a superpower when channeled correctly. Your high standards protect you from toxic relationships. Your strong memory helps you recognize patterns and avoid repeating mistakes. Your emotional depth makes you loyal, authentic, and real. Your boundaries command respect. Yes, holding on to hurt can become heavy, and yes, learning to forgive when it's healthy and safe can free you. But that doesn't mean you need to forgive everyone or forgive quickly. Forgiveness is a personal journey, not a social obligation. The key is balance. Protect your peace, honor your feelings, but don't let bitterness steal your joy. Forgive when you're ready, not when others pressure you. And remember, forgiving doesn't mean forgetting or allowing the same behavior again. It means releasing the emotional weight when it's right for you. If this sounds like you, drop a comment below. Yes, that's me. Or share your experience. Hit like if it helped, subscribe for daily psychology insights that empower you, and turn on notifications. See you in the next video.